Mama is here. She was a bit under the weather yesterday. She's recovered fully. We're grateful to God.
Yes, we're so happy to have you back.
Thank you. Yeah. I know Kojo prayed for me because he told me he would. Like, you mentioned my name in the prayer?
Of course I did. I prayed for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I always pray for you.
And you know, because God doesn't hear from me often, when he does, he expedites my request.
Thank you. That's why I'm
here. Which
is
why you are here.
I'm not surprised God doesn't hear from you.
I don't disturb him too much. Yeah, he has given me all the tools for success. So I try to use the gifts he has given me. But the things I can't do, I go to him for those. Like bringing Mama B back in 24 hours.
But lots of things happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know, anytime I kind of like...
You exit the stage.
There are things happening from everywhere.
Yeah.
There was the Men's Gold demonstration as well. The subsequent
big demonstration,
arrests
of the assemblymen, or which one?
No, the assemblymen came later in the evening. And then there was the Bank of Ghana emphatic statement on Men's Gold customers.
Yes.
And you know, Gabi Ochredako posted something that Kojo Yankson also posted. So
I shared with you. I didn't post it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Men's Gold. It's about Men's Gold. Yes. When you share something about Men's Gold, it's posting.
You post on your social media pages. I shared this on our WhatsApp platform.
So Kojo Yankson decided to share and post this on our WhatsApp platform. It's from Gabi Asari Ochredako. And he says, I'm sure that it's on our main platform, so I'm sure that the director will put it on. It says, I understand Gabi Asari Ochredako. Let me read this. I understand the owner of Men's Gold, Nana Apia Mensah, Nam 1, has breached his bail condition and absconded. One, I didn't know that he had been arrested.
Is that part of
an important detail?
No, I didn't know that. That was
I thought you said you were reading his post. So why don't you finish reading so people don't get confused?
Okay, first, in order for you not to get confused, word by word, I understand the owner of Men's Gold, Nana Apia Mensah, has breached his bail condition and absconded. We can't allow those who allegedly dupe people with such impunity to get away with it that easily. Let's smoke them out, wherever they are, and throw the book at them. While I will not want a peso of my tax money to be involved with this Ponzi matter, I believe majority of Ghanaians will agree with me that the law must come down heavily on those who use such schemes to destroy the lives of many people.
So,
I agree with Gabi.
I'll tell you what, this has been my position all along. That instead of going around and calling the customers greedy, do your job as a government. The guy, I didn't even know he had breached his bail conditions, but as far as I was aware, he had closed down his business and disappeared without paying those who had invested in the business. Okay, he had stopped paying rent on his premises, so his rent term had lapsed and he hadn't renewed it. He had gone in the middle of the night to empty the offices of furniture. He took the police with him to do that, by the way. Okay.
So no, wait. So hang on. All this what he was under arrests?
You see, I didn't know that. I'm hearing that for the first time. But on top of all that, he had also absconded, disappeared. Nobody could reach him on the phone.
But if we didn't know he had been arrested or he was under arrest, how would we even help the police in this case?
No, so Mama V, what I'm saying is, even before we knew that he was on bail, we knew he had disappeared without paying people. That is fraud, isn't it? So based on that alone, I wonder two things. First of all, why aren't the Ghana authorities liaising with perhaps Interpol or any international organizations to locate him? Why aren't the Ghanaian authorities looking for him?
Our passport, is it not?
This is even before we knew that he was on bail. But also going further back, I wonder, when the SEC stepped in, why did they not confiscate his property? Whatever property he has, whether it's vehicles, homes, whatever. Because at least I know of one property in Accra that is owned by either him or his wife.
Well,
so why
the intention was not to close down his business.
No, but
that was not the intention.
But they were suspicious that his business was unlawful. He was operating without a license. So
I am still at that level where SEC said they were asking for certain documentation for Men's Gold.
All right. Well,
I think that's where we got stuck at that point. Or
actually,
unless
no,
somebody was updated.
We moved on. Because
did they ever provide them with those documents?
It was when he failed to provide those documents that they sanctioned him to stop his operation. So we have moved on from we are waiting for documents.
Did they ever say he should stop the entire operation?
They stopped his operation of the whatever that product is.
As in,
yes,
to get new business?
Yes. So that's what I mean when I say stopped his operation. I don't mean they shut down his business. They stopped his operation of that particular product. Okay, and that happened after they had waited and waited for these documents. The documents had not come. Then they issued a sanction. So they were not still waiting for the document. They sat down, had a meeting, and decided, okay, we are going to sanction him. But did nobody there think of what the possible effects of this sanction would be? So if I'm SEC, and I want documents from this person to show that what he's doing is legitimate, he's not bringing the documents. So that gives me a suspicion that what he's doing may not be legitimate. So if I ask him to stop doing it, and I'm right, and it's a pyramid scheme, what will happen? What will happen? What's the next thing that will happen? He will stop paying the customers.
Something isn't right.
You get me? He will stop paying the customers. So the first thing you must do is, even before you put that sanction on him, you must tell him that, look, we're seizing your assets.
But Mamavi and Kwejo, there's clear indication that the commitment of the state, well, is that not the phrase that we usually use? The commitment of the state and its apparatus to put matters in check in relation to its citizens, whether they've been warned or not, to invest in this scheme is clearly not to make sure that they bring to book the actions of the gentleman and his people who established this thing all along. So because one, the Bank of Ghana just yesterday says because it doesn't regulate Men's Gold, it cannot in any way go in there and take whatever action on behalf of the citizens of Ghana who had invested, because prior they had been warned. We do agree.
So wait,
the Security Exchange Commission.
Stop there. I've got something before you continue. So, on what basis did they have that suspicion?
Well,
no, I'm not asking you to answer. But if it was on an illegal basis, then was that all they could do? Because you're warning me not to do something. What is it that you've seen? So continue.
And then, and if you go forward too, the Security and Exchange Commission has still not come clear to tell the ordinary member of the public that, yes, indeed, this gentleman and his actions all this while should have been under our regulation. They say, we suspect that what he did could fall under this regulation 1 or 2. As a result, we are halting his operations, but he should be in a position to pay interest or whatever liabilities he has with his customers. While we look into it, they have not come back to us publicly to tell us that, well, we think that after so and so investigations, these steps taken, this gentleman and his activities indeed do fall under our purview. And thereof, since he has breached those regulations, these are the sanctions thereof.
Okay. That's why I would not even believe that he was arrested, because why was he arrested?
Well, we are yet to see proof, evidence of that. But I also
lots of questions still.
I also will not discount it. Any possible reason could exist for him being arrested. Someone could have reported him on suspicion that he's being duped.
And they didn't publicly share that?
Yes, that is the part that will baffle me. Okay, but I'm not saying that it means it's not possible that he was arrested. But for me, the important thing is this. I, like Gabi, I don't want to see my taxpayers' money being used to bail out or to replace money that someone has stolen. I don't want to see that happening, okay? But you know how when an armed robber comes out of his house and starts shouting, "I've been robbed," even though you know a crime has been committed against him, you kind of look at him and think, really? You? So this is the NPP saying that they don't want to see their, oh, well, Gabi is a member of the NPP. He doesn't want to see his taxpayers' money being used to bail out Men's Gold, or to bail out victims of a pyramid scheme. So how about DKM?
DKM, they were regulated.
A pyramid scheme.
They were regulated.
In spite of what regulation they fell under, they conducted a pyramid scheme. Yes, and we bailed them out with our taxpayers' money.
I just feel that on this whole men's gold situation, so for instance, if the deputy governor had not said what she said yesterday on Joy FM on the Super Morning Show, we wouldn't have been updated, for instance. But that's coming from the Bank of Ghana, which directly is not a regulator in this area.
Yeah, so for me,
they have nothing to do with men's gold.
Yeah, it's not even
Why is the police not talking to us? Why is SEC not updating us and telling us, with all these demonstrations ongoing, telling us their findings? This is what we found, and this is the position of the regulator. So this is what is going to happen to men's gold going forward. Why is nobody saying anything? Why
if they find or have found that they...
I think we don't owe, I mean, we shouldn't be asking Bank of Ghana any questions because they've already said what they had to say. The people who are directly taking actions against men's gold, they owe us some updates every now and then. They have to tell us what's happening.
I agree. And for me, I also think that they haven't really been... Okay, I don't want to be harsh, but they haven't really been smart. Because you ought to know, if you are investigating someone and you go and tell them, I'm investigating you, there is a risk of that person absconding. I think that's logic, isn't it?
Well, so, I mean, there were things they could have done. You could have arrested, if you had any suspicion, you could have arrested the person and then
at the very least, do what is within your purview, which is seize his assets. You can do that.
There's something not right.
So yeah,
there's something not right.
The way the guy was able to breeze away.
Most of the assets were rented.
Listen,
they belong to people.
I refuse to believe that first he was arrested and he's absconded. Something doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I am not dumb. I won't just sit here and accept that he was arrested. Why didn't anybody tell us? When there are so many people at the center of this.
So what do you think has happened? What do you think?
Some kululu somewhere. I refuse to accept that he was ever arrested.
My worry.
By the way, we have newspapers today.
Yes, we are not the newspapers. We've got the Graphic, the Times,
but
the
Daily
Daily
Guide, a serious issue.
The Finder,
to know that somebody was in a position to take a decision.
But we've had
we've had a bit of time on that. To invest 700.
Be fair, we've had a bit of time on that. Let's do the newspapers. We'll see men's gold in the newspapers, definitely.
All right, I have the Ghanaian Times and the Daily Guide. Headlines quickly. 1.75 million Ghana cedi package for 7 victims as compensation for killing by police. And I would love a debate on whether that is enough. That is the value of a life. Police mounts manhunt for 5 robbers. IGP applauds Chief Imam for diffusing tension. Nkwanta police intercepts cache of ammunition. And on the back page, these 2 stories. SNIT increases pension by 11%. And AMA removes posters on Kwame Nkrumah interchange. They took their time with it. All right, here we have the Daily Guide and banner headline, 1.75 million Ghana cedis for killed Zongo youth. And there are some pictures of a few of them on the front page. 1.75 power. EC parries NDC attack. There's a picture of Dr. Osman Asare. 7 men's gold customers arrested, and I think that happened after the demonstration. And Mahama insults Nana over free SHS. The definition of insult in Ghana is a very fluid thing. But anyway, there we go.
Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, front page. SNIT pension pay up by 11%, and the changes would be effected this month. Ghana exports food to Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire is another headline on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Have we stopped importing tomatoes?
And Dani family warns of halting funeral. It accuses Abudus of violation of roadmap. In the matter of Asawase 7, government to pay 1.75 million Ghana cedis. Each family gets 250,000 Ghana cedis. Let's turn our attention to the back page of the paper now. Nkwanta police intercept bus carrying arms and ammunition. 28 NGOs equipped to support community-level malaria control. And in the center spread, men's gold customers storm Kumasi office to demand payments of investments. And fishermen's incursions threaten oil gas installation. Story by Doche Komla Aklobato in Secondary Takrade. So that's it, the center spread of the paper, the headlines and the stories there in the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Well, let's go to the Daily Statesman newspaper. And then we have NDC blocks Alabi, but prepares grounds for JDM. The story is on page 2 of the paper. And then we also have Akufo-Addo others praise for Ghana's democracy. You have a picture there of Professor Philip Eko Bonzi Simpson. The Ghana Rail Company Limited.
You said Eko.
Yeah.
Ebo?
Okay. Ebo.
So, you know, I think you confused me on Constitution Day.
I did?
And I was thinking, no, Roland, I was thinking, did he say Ebo or Eko?
Ghana, so it's Ebo.
No.
Okay. Ghana Rail Company Limited postpones Accra Tema free train ride. Kujo and I had intended when we went.
We still plan to.
Yes, it didn't come off, so we decided to come back. But we're waiting for them. Yesterday we said we wanted to go for the ride. We went there. It was so government compensate families of Asawase shooting victims, and on the back page, the plane crash that killed Syria's champions and their English coach. Very sad incident, and they were talking about Turing. All right, may their soul rest in peace.
So you know why the train thing didn't happen?
Why?
Because of encroachers.
Yes.
But you know, there again, I said, oh, so this is just like the Volta Regional Police Command saying because people had threatened to beat up reporters or people they didn't know, reporters shouldn't go on the ground to work. So because people had encroached, they put their hands in the air and said, oh, we can't do anything, so we won't do the train ride.
Was that the situation?
Yeah.
For the Volta region? They couldn't have done anything about it.
Yeah. So the police commander said, so journalists, please don't go and do your work because the people
we can't do ours.
We are picking intelligence on the ground that the people will beat you up when you go.
So this is the
don't
point.
go.
Yes, don't go and do your work because we can't do ours.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Thank
interesting.
You,
really interesting.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right, and we talked about this a bit yesterday, didn't we?
Yes, we
fact
did.
That,
extensively.
I mean,
actually.
What guts it must take
and it's about to
remain encroaching on a railway line when you know a train is coming.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Well,
people are
but when the people run in and say, oh, because the people are there. So now, who is more powerful? Is it the person doing the illegality, or
I think it's the question we are.
Anyway, the railways minister has given his team 2 weeks to clear these people from there.
No,
it's a railway line.
Yeah, but when you come bites, when the people know that you are empty, then they will continue to defy.
Yes.
That's what it is. Okay, so let's talk about this pension issue, right?
Right.
The monies have gone up, not significantly though, but it cost us a bit. So as a result of the increment, pensioners who were on the minimum monthly pension of 276 Ghana cedis in 2018 will now receive 316.73, while the minimum monthly pension for new pensioners from January 2019 is now pegged at 300 Ghana cedis. What can you do with 300 Ghana cedis? I mean, imagine you're on retirement and you have to take 300 Ghana cedis. That's a month, though. That's your monthly payment if you're on the minimum 300 Ghana cedis. So even though there's been an increment, it's still very much insignificant. But this, Dr. Tinkroin, who heads SNITS, revealed in this story that the trust would incur an extra cost of 212.16 million Ghana cedis for the year due to the increment, which he said had already been factored into its budget for the year. SNIT is still not attractive, I think, particularly to those of us who are younger. It's still not an attractive scheme to us. And if you went around to ask a number of people, they would say, if I had an option to opt out of SNIT, I would, because I could better invest my money and get something better out of it when I'm on retirement. But we don't have that option, right? So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's it. That's the story on the SNIT situation. Which other one are we picking?
Can we talk about this 1.75 million Ghana cedis for the killed Zongo youth? So how the Daily Guide reports it is the families of the 7 Zongo youth that were mistakenly shot and killed by the police at Manson Kwanta will take home 250,000 Ghana cedis each, I guess, each family, or, you know. Yeah, 250,000 Ghana cedis each, which makes up the 1.75 million Ghana cedis as compensation. Now, just before I talk about that, I just want to read another paragraph because I would like to mention it later. The president was there for some, to give a speech, and he condemned faceless people that instigated the youth in the Zongo areas to cause trouble following the killing of the 7 people. And according to the Daily Guide, the president said such people will not succeed. Come to that in a minute. But first of all, 250,000 per victim. Innocent people who have been shot by the police. And then the police, including their commander, who is still at post, then lie that they were armed robbers and plant weapons on them to cover up the fact that they have shot these 7 innocent people.
Innocent journalists.
Yes. Yes. Okay, now, I want to note a couple of things. I listened to the president speaking there, and he talked about their fallen comrades, because these individuals are reported to be NPP members. Okay, fallen comrades, right? Okay.
Compatriots.
Compatriots, thank you.
The
Compatriots, thank you very much. Thanks for the correction.
Comrades is for NDC.
Yeah, okay, compatriots. So, yeah, they are party members, I think, from all the reports.
Patriots.
Yes. Right, so I'm questioning whether, first of all, 250 million is a 250,000.
It's 1,000.
Yeah, is
enough.
Is a suitable number for the atrocity that we have seen.
Well, for me, if you look at the inequity or the injustice that are meted out to victims of police brutalities, and if we premise our argument on the documentary by Solomon Jojo Kobna recently, or prior to the Yuletide or the Christmas break, then I believe this somewhat will be a handsome reward. But
handsome?
Then, well, I'm talking in comparative terms.
What you mean is this
we've
is
seen
the largest.
many who have been ignored.
There are hundreds of people who have been at the end of police brutalities. The police, as an institution itself, has not taken the responsibility to investigate those incidents. And people who have been the victims have also not been compensated. And if you take the difficulties that the families of these people go through in caring for them, and even moaning and wailing subsequently.
So relatively, this is better.
And put in perspective, at least a step has been taken.
Okay.
My suggestion then will be it should be extended across board, so that victims of police brutalities, because the police are acting on behalf of the state, will be compensated appropriately.
But just before you continue, the president said in the same speech that the 250,000 was not going to bring back the lives lost, but it was the way of accepting responsibility.
That's an important point. And you see, I think no matter how much you give to these families, it won't be enough. I mean, you can't really pay the value of a life. But the reason why I started with the question, is it enough, is because I recognize what the president is saying. This money can never be the consolation that these families require.
It's justice.
Yes. Yes. And you are right, by the way. There are so many others who don't even get this. But to be honest, that is kind of like saying that I give my child 1 meal a day. Some children don't even get a meal at all.
So you're better off.
So yes, still giving your child 1 meal a day is not good enough.
I agree.
However, justice is what is needed. Why is this commander still at post? I mean, for me, that is a slap in the face of these families. So the president then goes on to say, faceless.
Faceless what? Provocateurs.
Yes, faceless. I want to use the expression that the newspaper uses here.
Meaning that were the
Faceless
NDC people. It's not
that
said they were
instigated the youth in the Zongo. So you see, for me, when people say that thing about journalists, so for example, I express a view that perhaps the government could have done better, or the opposition were wrong. And then people say, I've been paid by a party to say it. What you are telling me is that me, Kojo Youngson, I don't have the intelligence to make up my own mind on an issue. I'm not smart enough to have a view. So if I express a view, someone must be paying me to express it. Someone must have fed me that view. So the young people of Zongo who got angry because the police have killed their brothers, their friends, and are accusing them of being armed robbers, they don't have brains. They were instigated by faceless people. Look, they are in mourning. I don't think adding insult, literally adding insult to injury is the way forward. To say that those faceless people will not succeed in doing what? Yeah. What were they aiming at that they will not succeed in doing?
Well, the president was taking the dick, obviously, but
investigate that commander who told the world on. We have the images.
Is this a matter of even go and investigate?
Oh,
I mean, elsewhere the person would say that I was misled, whatever. So here's my resignation.
Clearly,
because
he is
I
not
could
going
have
to
done
do that.
better.
Clearly, he is not going to do that. Clearly, he is not going to do that. So somebody responsible.
The president also said he has instructed the IGP to interdict the officers. That
please. They've done a report.
That's English.
They've done a report. And it's based on that report that we now know that these individuals were innocent. But have you seen the rest of the report? Have you seen who, if they are innocent, who is guilty? Yeah. Have you seen the rest of the report?
The president said the officers should be interdicted, so I'm sure subsequently a decision will be taken. But I think at the end of the day, we should question the subject of policing.
We want the entire report so we can see. The subject because you can't keep the entire report and release what you think the people must know. We want to see the entire and those other persons respond. Because we were all here when journalists were taken round after the 7 were shot and killed. That this is and the story was told. See, they told their own story. Where did that story come from?
They had the guns were
where did that story come from? That was their side of it. That's what they wanted us to consume until the people decided to be angry.
Oh no, faceless people told them to be angry because they are not smart enough.
All right, MyJoyOnline.com though has a face. So we have Men's Gold Saga. The face there is Mrs. Elsie Awaji. Men's Gold Saga. BOG is, we are not concerned, posture Warren, law lecturer. And that's Justice Shremsai who was making that contribution.
That's for the Bank of Ghana. There's
nothing to do with them.
It's the other people.
Bank of Ghana. Also, what your bomb. Government extorting money from long-suffering contractors minority. It says between the Finance Ministry and Fidelity Bank to pay outstanding debts to contractors. A criticized arrangement. Okay. And let's move on. We have photos. Watermelon seller beats man for setting fire to grass. A 40-year-old amputee was last Sunday beaten by a watermelon seller for setting fire on the grass and trees planted at the Tekwashin Interchange for beautification purposes.
Oh dear.
No, what brun?
Oh.
And pension increased by 11%, and we should be happy.
You see, that's the thing, is again the same scenario, because one person is somebody is getting 1 meal a day. You know, you see pension increase by 11. You see 11%. You think it's some significant increment.
So that's why my argument is bogus. The two of you are just telling me that my argument
it's mediocrity. And we've been excited about mediocrity.
Yeah, it's true.
This is like a big move, but it's not.
Nothing. Grave injustice. Ex-Heritage Bank Board castigates BOG.
That matter too.
Blame political parties for fielding substandard MP materials. Gimpa Rector or Professor Philip Ibo Bonze Simpson. Anchor. A video.
Stressing Roland.
Echo. Men's Gold Saga. We don't have the power to intervene. BOG. Hey, Charlie, BOG, but it's serious. You know, BOG, big part.
No way. Are they saying anything different from what they've
been saying all this time?
So why are we surprised?
I don't even understand. Why is this even news? They told us that they don't have the power to intervene.
Were they not
That's why they were issuing warnings.
Yeah, were they not the ones? Okay, so the thing is, Men's Gold, they've operated for like, what, 5 years? So anybody can come and set up a business and collect people's monies when they really don't have any business doing it. And after 5 years, we can be where we are today. It's interesting.
I always say that at least the Bank of Ghana attempted. they attempted to regulate them. First, they said you can't call yourself a bank. Then they said you can't call yourself bank with a C. And then they say you can't take deposits. So you see, at least they were attempting to regulate until it became clear that whatever it is these people are now doing, unfortunately, does not fall under any of their regulations.
All right, so let's do the BBC.
So at least they tried. But SEC went there, looked at them and said, we don't regulate these people. Oh.
Let's finish up with the BBC.
Can I say happy birthday to someone?
Yes,
sorry, after BBC. After BBC.
Trump demands funds to end the border crisis. So I'm sure you are aware of the shutdown and how Mr. Trump is still not giving in. He wants to build his border, and that's what is most important to him.
$5 billion.
So this was a state's address, I think the first in 2019 in the Oval Office, and he's making the strongest point. Well, I can't say ever. He's been saying
and
this.
And do you know what he did?
Why he named
That's what he would have said.
Towards the tail end of the
this
speech.
is the strongest point ever.
And towards the tail end of the speech, he said he's inviting people to contribute to his campaign for 2020. Anyway, birthday.
How about Simpson? All right, a quick happy birthday to Jane Armour of Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Somebody clearly cares a lot about you. Jane, I would conclude that it is. Yes, so happy birthday to you, Jane. Compliments of the day. Have the very, very best.
Is it coming from you or somebody else?
No, it's from somebody
else. Maybe it's from somebody else, Charlie. Jane, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jane Armour.
We've got sports coming up. Mohamed Salah is the African Football Player of the Year. It's 2 times in a row.
You know,
Egypt is hosting the
African Cup.
That'll be
good. And Chelsea will be going there.
Chelsea. Okay,
and Chelsea.
I can't say
we're taking a break. Sports is next.